The March for Life. Tens of thousands of people right now are marching on Washington, D.C. for the 45th annual March for Life. Never heard of it? You're not alone. Even many conservatives don't really know anything about it because the mainstream media generally black the event out. Which is really incredible, by the way, as the March for Life is the longest continual protest in American history. They've been marching ever since the Supreme Court's decision in Roe v. Wade that made up a constitutional right to abortion. You know that thing where the framers were so concerned about abortion. Give me abortion or give me death. I forget exactly which article that right to abortion is in, but if you read the Constitution very, very closely, and then you invent that right out of whole cloth, you should find it. Pro-life supporters have come in from all over the country, and their efforts have not been in vain. 5 years ago, in 2013, the number of annual abortions fell below 1 million for the first time in 40 years, and that number has slowly continued to drop. Of course, that means there are still roughly 1 million babies killed in the womb each year, with maniacal ghouls like Cecile Richards at Planned Parenthood snuffing out a third of them. Planned Parenthood alone has killed more than 7 million babies in the womb since Roe v. Wade. And as the Center for Medical Progress expose showed us, Planned Parenthood has profited marvelously by selling babies' body parts on the black market to the highest bidder. Since Roe v. Wade, well over 60 million abortions have occurred in the United States. To put that in perspective, that's the total population of South Carolina, Louisiana, Kentucky, Oregon, Oklahoma, Connecticut, Iowa, Mississippi, Arkansas, Utah, Kansas, Nevada, New Mexico, Nebraska, West Virginia, Idaho, Hawaii, Maine, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Montana, Delaware, South Dakota, Alaska, North Dakota, Washington, D.C., Vermont, and Wyoming combined. Today, as many people identify as pro-life as pro-choice, up tremendously over the past 4 decades, despite the constant slew of pro-abortion propaganda from the mainstream media and Hollywood. Cynical politicians scaremonger. They say that without abortion, before Roe v. Wade, without Roe v. Wade, thousands of women would die each year from back alley abortions, from coat hanger abortions. The former head of the National Abortion Rights Action League, Bernard Nathanson, has since admitted that he and his pro-abortion conspirators completely invented that number. It was totally made up. It's a total lie. In reality, by 1972, the year before Roe v. Wade, when abortion was still illegal in the majority of the country, the actual number of women who died from illegal abortions was 39. Not 39,000, not 3,900. 39. The wilder statistic is that same year, 24 women died from legal abortions, despite legal abortion only existing in a small percentage of states. The mass slaughter has taken a disproportionate toll on racial minorities. In New York City, more black babies are aborted than born. This is no coincidence. Margaret Sanger, the founder of Planned Parenthood, was a committed eugenicist who explained, quote, "To understand the difficulties and the obstacles to be overcome before the dream of a greater race in America can be attained is to understand something of the task before the women who shall give birth to that race. Among our more than 100 million population are Negroes, Indians, Chinese, and other colored people to the number of 11 million. There are also 14,500,000 persons of foreign birth. There were 1,600,000 illiterate foreigners in the United States when the 1910 census was taken. Do these elements give promise of a better race? Are we doing anything genuinely constructive to overcome this situation?" That's from her book, Woman and the New Race. And they did get very constructive, reaching the climax during Roe v. Wade. Future generations will look on our tolerance of abortion with the same horror and moral opprobrium with which we view slaveholders in the antebellum South. Which side will that history record you as having taken?